relentless in spirit. You're listening to The Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back to The Charlie Kirk Show. I'm Andrew Kolvet, executive producer of this fine show, and Blake Neff. We really want to read your emails. Send them in, freedom@charliekirk.com, freedom@charliekirk.com, so send them in. We are reading every single one. We will continue on this mission to read every single email. Blake, do we have anything in the email box that is that you want to float in this 54 seconds?
I got a kick out of Jack sent us a suggestion that what causes the bad actors is political psychosis, which he suggested is a combination of heavy weed use, using too much political social media, and playing too many video games. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of want it to be true because weed is bad.
It feels true.
Weed is really bad.
It feels
don't do it.
true. We got to, you know what we got to do? We got to have Alex Berenson on the show.
Yeah, just remind people weed is bad.
Just for a very good, primer, again, a refresher course on why weed is bad. Don't smoke weed. It's terrible for you. By the way, if you care about the next generation, you should be anti-legalizing weed or making it easier to get for one reason only.
We have enough addictive things in American life that are legal.
Yes, but with young people specifically, it does lead to psychosis. So, and that's provable. You can't even argue with that. We're going to welcome back radio in 2 seconds. We are honored on the Charlie Kirk Show to be partnering with Alan Jackson Ministries, and today I want to point you to their podcast. It's called Culture and Christianity, the Alan Jackson podcast. There's a lot of bad things. Speaking of that email you just read, there's a lot of bad things that are infecting people's minds and really making the discourse, online or even in person, really pretty toxic. This is why podcasts like the Alan Jackson podcast are important, because what they do there is they take truth from the Bible and they apply it to actual issues that we're facing today. So gender confusion, abortion, immigration, Doge, Trump, the White House, issues in the church. They don't just discuss the problems, but they give practical things that we can do to make a difference with these problems, which is going to arm you and equip you to be a better citizen and to confront the challenges of our day. And every episode, Alan Jackson gives practical things that you can take from Scripture. So the Culture and Christianity podcast is informative and encouraging, and you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Alan Jackson Ministry is working hard to bring biblical truth back into our culture. You can find more about Pastor Alan and his ministry at alanjackson.com. All right, so Blake, we want to go SCOTUS conversion therapy. We're going to go to FBI tracking senators' phones. By the way, we have Jonathan Kooperman coming up for the entire hour.
It's going to be so great. We get to talk about the shock jock Hasan. We get to talk about mashed potato, Katie Porter.
Yeah.
Did you know about that?
So just so you know, part of our struggle with hour one today is that we have all of these topics.
We had a million things to hit.
But we keep wanting to wait for Lomas, otherwise known as Jonathan Kooperman.
He's so great.
The story with Lomas, just so everybody's aware. One of Charlie's absolute favorite guests, first of all.
We had him on. He was instantly like, let's have him on all the time.
Charlie was like, we got to have Lomas. So he's coming on next. And but part of our struggle is we just wanted to talk about all these topics with Lomas. He was known as Lomas online, very popular, sort of like underground X
It's
account.
so great. Anytime you dox this liberal who's hiding behind an anonymous account, they turn out to just be hideous looking or something.
They look like somebody who would hide.
They look like a Portland Antifa mugshot.
Put the Antifa.
If we have that, put that up.
Put the Antifa mugshots up.
So some ghoul who also looks like an Antifa mugshot at, I think it was The Guardian in the UK. He doxes Jonathan Kooperman, and it turns out he's he has a great family, and
he's the top-rated professor.
Top-rated professor, and all the reviews when he was a college professor, he's a really hot professor, too.
Oh, yeah, I know. All the ladies love Jonathan Kooperman. So, yeah, he's now out. So I don't even know what to call him. Is it Jonathan Kooperman? Is it Lomas? I still call him Lomas.
I call him Lomas because that's what he is on X, and everyone should follow him.
By the way, the Antifa mugshot's hilarious. I think it was End Wokeness. You've got it credited appropriately. But I think the caption was, now we know why they wear masks. Because when you see them, you're like,
You think they'd want to keep them up because they could take off their mask and turn whoever sees them to stone, like Medusa.
Well, they certainly have some evil powers, but usually it's just throwing Molotov cocktails at federal authorities. But by the way, that story is still going on, and I think if you could find a thread for this hour, it's that we want to be about what we're for. Turning Point's mission is more important than ever because the taboo against political violence is eroding, which is terrifying, by the way. One of the things that that you said yesterday, Blake, that has stood out to me is this idea that there is this incredible incentive, should we lose power at the executive level, to commit violence against Supreme Court justices, especially conservatives. I don't really worry about it the other way around because we're just simply not as violent as the left in the modern era. However, why that makes sense is because if you have a Democrat president, then they would...
If the Kavanaugh assassin in 2022 had actually succeeded in going through with it, Joe Biden could have trotted out some left-wing nominee, and Democrats who controlled the Senate could have confirmed that person. There is a very direct incentive, and that person would have been able to serve on the court for life.
I'm just curious. Could you, in theory, pass any sort of law that says if you just to take this incentive off the board and say if somebody is the victim of political assassination, that the sitting president would have to defer the selection to the highest-ranking Republican in D.C. or something?
You don't want to create incentives the other way either.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you. But I'm saying, well, that's true. That's true because if you know, that's a very dark thought. This is the problem sometimes that I have. Is,
like, imagine, could you imagine
Ruth Bader Ginsburg? They wanted her to retire.
They wanted her to retire. We're like, we're gonna force your retirement, Miss Ginsburg. And no, you don't.
So basically, the only option is to put bubble wrap around all of them, give them lots of security, ensure the U.S. Marshals are monitoring their movements. I mean, this is really sick. We should. I mean, as a culture, the fact that we're even debating this, God help us. Pray for peace. Jonathan Kooperman's going to help make sense of all of it more. Hasan Piker, the shock jock that shocks. That story and more in hour 2. Don't go anywhere. Jonathan Kooperman's next.